China's economic influence is expanding globally, reaching far beyond its borders and impacting economies worldwide. Its reach extends to Europe, where Chinese investments have surged in recent years, transforming the economic landscape of many European countries. This development has sparked both interest and concern among policymakers, economists, and the general public. On one hand, Chinese investments offer much-needed capital for infrastructure and development, providing opportunities for growth and modernization. On the other hand, they raise concerns about debt dependency and geopolitical influence, as countries worry about the long-term implications of such financial ties. This essay will examine China's growing debt in Europe, exploring the multifaceted nature of these investments and their impact on the continent. We will explore the opportunities and challenges it presents, delving into the economic, political, and social dimensions of Chinese investments in Europe. We will delve into the Belt and Road Initiative, a key driver of Chinese investment in the region, and analyze how this ambitious project is reshaping trade and infrastructure. Furthermore, we will analyze specific cases like Greece, Portugal, and Hungary, showcasing the benefits and drawbacks of these investments, and how they are influencing local economies and societies. We will also look at the diplomatic relationships that have evolved as a result of these investments, and how European leaders are navigating this complex landscape. Additionally, we will explore the impact on local industries and innovation as Chinese capital flows into various sectors, from manufacturing to technology. The cultural exchange between Europe and China is another aspect to consider, as increased economic ties lead to greater interaction and mutual influence between the two regions. Education and research collaborations are also on the rise, with more Chinese students studying in Europe and joint research projects being undertaken. We will examine how small businesses and local markets are affected by this influx of Chinese investment and what it means for the everyday lives of European citizens. Ultimately, this essay aims to provide a comprehensive overview of China's expanding footprint in Europe, highlighting both the opportunities and challenges that come with this new era of economic partnership. As we navigate this complex and evolving relationship, it is crucial to understand the broader implications for both Europe and China, and how they will shape the future of global economics and politics. Join us as we explore this fascinating and dynamic topic, shedding light on the intricate web of connections that define China's expanding footprint in Europe. China's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, is a massive infrastructure and investment project that has captured global attention. Launched in 2013, it aims to connect Asia, Europe, Africa, and beyond through a network of roads, railways, ports, and other infrastructure projects. The initiative is often compared to the ancient Silk Road, which facilitated trade and cultural exchange across continents. The BRI has played a significant role in increasing Chinese investments in Europe. These investments are not just limited to infrastructure but also extend to various sectors such as technology, energy, and manufacturing. European countries, particularly those facing economic challenges, have welcomed Chinese investments. For many, these investments represent an opportunity to revitalize their economies, create jobs, and improve infrastructure. These investments often come in the form of loans for infrastructure projects. These loans are typically used to build highways, railways, ports, and other critical infrastructure that can boost economic growth. While these loans can be beneficial, they also raise concerns about debt sustainability and potential political leverage. Critics argue that the heavy reliance on Chinese loans could lead to a debt trap, where countries are unable to repay their debts and are forced to make political concessions. This has sparked debates and protests in various European countries, highlighting the complex and often controversial nature of the BRI. Despite these concerns, the BRI continues to be a catalyst for investment, driving significant economic activity and fostering international cooperation. The initiative's long-term impact on Europe and the world remains to be seen, but it is clear that the BRI is reshaping the global economic landscape. Greece, Portugal, and Hungary have become prime destinations for Chinese investments in Europe. These countries, all facing economic difficulties in recent years, have welcomed Chinese capital. China has invested heavily in the port of Piraeus in Greece, acquiring a majority stake in the port's operator. In Portugal, Chinese companies have invested in energy, telecommunications, and insurance sectors. Hungary has seen significant Chinese investments in infrastructure, particularly in the development of a high-speed railway line between Budapest and Belgrade. Proponents of Chinese investments in Europe highlight the potential economic benefits. These investments can provide much-needed capital for infrastructure development, creating jobs and stimulating economic growth. Improved infrastructure such as modern ports and efficient transportation networks can enhance connectivity and facilitate trade. Furthermore, Chinese investments can strengthen diplomatic ties between China and European nations. Increased economic cooperation can foster closer political relationships, potentially leading to greater collaboration on global issues. Section 5. The specter of debt dependency. Despite the potential benefits, concerns linger about the potential for debt dependency on China. As European nations seek to modernize their infrastructure and boost their economies, they often turn to Chinese investments and loans. These financial inflows can be a double-edged sword. Some European countries may struggle to repay the loans, potentially leading to economic and political leverage for China. The fear is that these nations, already grappling with economic challenges, might find themselves in a precarious position. Unable to meet their debt obligations, they could be forced into making concessions that favor Chinese interests. This concern is particularly acute for countries with weak economies or high levels of existing debt. For these nations, the specter of debt dependency looms large, casting a shadow over their economic sovereignty. The risk is not just financial but also political, as indebted countries might have to align their policies more closely with Beijing's strategic goals. Critics argue that China could use its creditor status to extract concessions from European countries, such as support for its foreign policy positions or access to strategic assets. This could include control over critical infrastructure like ports, railways, and energy projects, which are vital for national security and economic stability. This potential for economic leverage raises concerns about China's growing influence in Europe. As Chinese investments continue to pour into the continent, the balance of power could shift, leading to a new era of geopolitical dynamics. European policymakers must weigh the immediate benefits of Chinese funding against the long-term implications for their national sovereignty and regional stability. Section 6. Geopolitical implications and shifting alliances. The influx of Chinese investments in Europe has geopolitical implications. It coincides with a period of shifting global power dynamics and a more assertive China on the world stage. Some analysts view China's investments as part of a broader strategy to increase its global influence and challenge the existing world order. European countries are navigating a delicate balance between engaging with China economically and safeguarding their strategic interests. They are wary of becoming overly reliant on China and are seeking to diversify their economic partnerships. Section 7. Montenegro, a cautionary tale of debt diplomacy. Montenegro's experience with Chinese investments serves as a cautionary tale. In 2014, Montenegro took out a substantial loan from China to build a highway. The project, however, has been plagued by delays and cost overruns, leaving Montenegro with a significant debt burden. This situation has raised concerns about China's lending practices and the potential for debt trap diplomacy. Critics argue that China may use such projects to gain leverage over smaller countries, potentially compromising their sovereignty. Section 8. Balancing opportunities and challenges. China's growing debt in Europe presents both opportunities and challenges. On one hand, Chinese investments can provide much-needed capital for infrastructure development, stimulate economic growth, and strengthen diplomatic ties. On the other hand, they raise concerns about debt dependency, geopolitical influence, and potential economic imbalances. European countries must carefully weigh these opportunities and challenges. They need to ensure that Chinese investments are sustainable, transparent, and aligned with their long-term interests. Section 9. A call for transparency and strategic foresight. As China's economic footprint in Europe continues to grow, it is crucial for European countries to approach these investments with transparency and strategic foresight. They need to conduct thorough risk assessments, ensure debt sustainability, and establish clear terms and conditions for Chinese investments. Furthermore, European countries should work together to develop a coordinated approach towards Chinese investments. By sharing information, coordinating policies, and presenting a united front, they can better mitigate risks and maximize the potential benefits of economic engagement with China.